Welcome back, everybody. Your favorite spooktacular host here, the Executioner, and today we're gonna talk. Now, come on, walk with me. Okay, now, what is a low and a high time preference? We've seen this all over the place, from Rant Sonas, from Esso, Filthy Heretic, to a lot of other people, right? Filthy not being so much, but a lot of people in the ANCAP community like to mention this high versus low time preference, and they regurgitate Esso's nonsense. Now, a low time preference is putting off something that you could have now for something more in the future, right? Let's say that you have a $900 check, right? And you decide, hey, I'm not going to spend it on beer, blow, and hookers. I'm going to spend it on a new workstation so I can 3D model and come up with animations and stuff like that. And I'll put my time and effort, learn into that, and eventually, if I get good enough, I can sell it to other people, the animations, and get commission work done. That is a low time preference versus somebody who has a high time preference that would be not getting the computer and wisely investing into that means, and instead going out and buying beer, heroin, and hookers, for example, or whatever. The person who has a low time preference would go through methods to making their dreams a reality. Let's say eating ramen or noodles or something like that in order to get the computer, for example, versus somebody who goes out to Starbucks and orders a $6 coffee every day, for example. It's putting off something that you could have easily now for something more in the future. That is a low time preference, versus the high time preference is you'd rather take something in the here and now instead of putting it off for something in the future. So yes, that is what a low time preference and a high time preference is. The high being you do not want to put it off, you want it now, versus putting it off and getting more out of it, which is the low time preference, if you were to say. Now, how does this affect interest rates, for example? Now, if we're going about the high time preference definition of the idea, in that CEOs would be better because of the high time preferences, that would be wrong. Because if we're talking about the whole interest rates here, right? If you want to put something off and save, right? For, let's say in regards to interest rates, you'd rather have the interest rates be higher, for example. You want the interest rates higher so you can accumulate more over time, versus somebody who would want the money now would want a lower interest rates, for example. Get the picture? Now, this does not necessarily mean that this is how the fiat and shit is influenced throughout the economy. Interest rates do get lowered, and that can affect inflation in many ways. But fiat and the Federal Reserve are not the only things that influence an economy, how it grows and how it does not grow. For example, the currency itself is not just chalked up to the Fed. There are many different factors, outside factors, instead of just, oh, we lowered the interest rate so the US dollar is bad. That is a factor, but that is not all of it. So yes, anyways, guys, hope you like this walk and talk. Hope I can do more of these in the future. Please subscribe, and if you like the channel a lot more, donate to my Patreon if you want to, or my Bitcoin wallet. I really gotta get a new one of those, by the way, since Coinbase was a whole thing like that, even though I didn't earn anything off it, kinda. But anyways, guys, if you want to donate to the Bitcoin or whatever the fuck it is, it's all voluntary. I don't really give a shit if you do or not. But anyways, have a great week. And how many times can I say anyways?